But what's really interesting here is when you run it at 3, it's not linear. Hello, mathematicians. Today we're going to go over a huge deck building mistake people are doing. And yes, that's running 3 Nibirus in your deck. Absolutely devastating if you do that for you. Because here's why. If you're living under a rock, pun intended, the Nibiru, the Primal Being, basically nowadays everybody and their mom special summons like 20 times in the deck. And oh my gosh, we want to rain Nibiru down to just end their turn. But it's not a good idea. In fact, statistics show, and we're going to dive into those, running Nibiru will actually make you lose more games than win. And I can't wait to show you the statistics. But first, people might be like, who even plays 3 Nibirus, Jesse? What are you talking about? Well, look at this. I found this. Look at all these people that like to play Nibiru at 3. Look, we got 23% of Fiendsmith players running at 3. You can see the numbers here. A lot of people genuinely are running it at 3 still. And this is something that's going on that we need to stop. Granted, there are some smart players like me and the Voices Voice, the Ritual players. We kind of got the memo. The Voices Voice players, we don't run it at 3. Man, and some people do have the memo, but some people don't. And let's spread the memo of not to use Nibiru at 3. And I can't wait to go into the math to prove and to back up my claims, because yeah, I don't like to just say stuff and just talk out like the thin air of myself. I have statistics to prove it. But we're going to go over why Nibiru is horrible. We're going to go over the math. I'm going to show you the graphs and everything, but I'm also going to talk about the exceptions, because yeah, I'm dissing Nibiru, but there are exceptions to why you might want to run it at 3 in certain scenarios. Again, and just Nibiru running it in general, whether you want to run it at 1 or 3, up for debate. But there are going to be exceptions that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about case studies, and we're going to make Nibiru when Nibiru is good to be rained down upon or not. And I can't wait to talk about that. Anyways, but let's first talk about Nibiru, the Primal Being. Again, useful, an old hand trap that came out 5 years ago. Again, to stop all of this special summoning spam, so it will still see play today. But the thing is, a lot of modern decks can make the Omni negate before 5. What I mean by that is they can make something a negate that can appear before the 5th summon. As Amina, for example, can come out. Fiendsmith can come out. A lot of stuff. Also, on the eyes of something like Fiendsmith, all that, they'll use that token anyways, and they'll just keep extending. It's absolutely crazy. You'll Nibiru them, and they'll just keep going like nothing happened anyways. It's like the Terminator scene, you know, when he's just getting shot, and he's just walking through like nothing's happened. Like, oh my gosh! They just keep going. Also, Nibiru is a brick going first. If you're playing something like Master Duel, or if you're playing in TCG and you have it and you're main decking it and you don't know if you're going first or not, main decking it or a Master Duel, it's a brick going first. It's not really going to help you. There are exceptions to, we'll talk about that, but anyways, it's generally just a brick. And Nibiru, I hate to say it, it's not effective versus all decks. Some decks like Labyrinth don't special summon 5 times. A lot of decks won't special summon 5 times. And some decks, it won't, again, have no effect. So it's not effective versus all decks, again. And again, token I have in parentheses is you give your opponent a token. And sometimes I've seen many games where the token is used against you. You give them a huge token, and then it just kills you for game because you have this big token you gave them, and they just walloped you. So that's annoying there. Anyways, Nibiru, those are some of the cons I've been seeing. But let's go into some of the numbers, right? How does the Nibiru by the numbers look? When we run 3 Nibirus, take a look at this. The odds, this is the odds to see it at 1, 2, and 3, right? And if you're playing a 40, 50, or 60 card deck, they're not good. Not good. You have a 33% chance to see it Nibiru if you're running it at 3. Meanwhile, alternative I think you should do is run Nibiru at 1. Instead of running at 3, run Nibiru at 1 and run these 2 Mole Chummy cards, or if you're, because you're always running Maxi and Master Duel, but TG you don't have that, but run these 2 Mole Chummy cards alongside it, because now you have only a 12.5% chance to see Nib. You won't brick on it on 2, so you won't have to worry about these secondary numbers here. right? Running it at 3 is really low. If you do see 3 of a kind, that's unlucky. But here's something fun too, because if you have a Charmy in your hand and you do it, draw the Nibiru on the 5th summon, you have a 25% chance of that happening. Because remember, if you do a Mole Charmy and they're special summoning a lot from the extra deck, or from the deck, you do have that increases your odds anyway. So you have a 25% chance to see Nib anyways if you run this package. Whereas if you run 3 Nibs, yes, it's 33% chance in a 40 card deck, but I'm willing to take that consistency hit to run this package better. It's just a lot more smooth, a lot better if you want to rain down Nibiru on your opponent a lot better. And just for what, 8% less, you know what I'm saying? You'll run a lot less bricks, you'll see more consistent, and you'll see more hand traps anyways that way. If you're running something like this, much better package to run. Anyways, let's get to the graph that I want to show you. Right here, what we're looking at is the percentages to see Nibiru if you're running it at 1 and 3. And again, the percentages to draw into it. So this is kind of fun little thing here, because again, you have that 12.5 chance to see it at 1 if you're running Nibiru at 1. The green line represents running it at 1, and the purple represents running it at 3. And if you're running it at 3 and you start drawing into a lot of cards, you're going to definitely see it. If you max see them, a Mole Charmy them. But again, even running it at 1, if you do that and you hit that up, again, like I said, after the 5th summon here, you get a 25% chance to see it. That's where that number came from. Very important, very good number. And it gets really high, even up to 50% if they're really just comboing off. Like if they're doing like Guardians, or if they're playing Dark World or something, you got a good chance to see it, even just running it at 1 on top of all the other hand traps you're going to see. You could run it at 3, but you could see here, while this is very linear, you could see here every card you draw, it's giving you an exactly a 2.5% chance to draw another copy of it. But what's really interesting here is when you run it at 3, it's not linear. In fact, it starts bottoming out. So you actually go, it's funny, running at 1 gives you a linear graph, but when you run it at 3, you get the 33% chance you get non-linear numbers, and you start seeing diminishing returns anyways. So that's very interesting to know, see if you're playing Nibs at 1 and 3. So very, very cool there. By the way, I do want to go into the exceptions, but real quick, and the case studies. If you like this kind of stuff, graphs, and going into stuff and heavy topics like this, give me a like and give me a subscribe. Come join the Discord. We talk about this kind of stuff, going into all of this interesting, fascinating topics. There's so many smart people in the Discord. You think I'm smart? You gotta see the people that are in this Discord. Some of the smartest people I've ever seen are in my Discord. And by the way, we look at your decks, we make your decks better. Come share your deck list with us, please. We've got that. And we can make it rain rocks on you, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, give that a like, subscribe, come check out the Twitch. And let's do some of the exceptions though, because here's what's interesting. I've talked about this, but look at this. So a lot of going second, some going second decks love to see Nibiru, right? Because, yeah, we're going second, we're guaranteed at least to like to use this. So some going second decks will like to have maybe 2-3 copies of Nibiru because they're a going second deck. Ritual decks, look at this. Nibiru's a beefy 11-point token. Yeah, they can use that as ritual fodder, if anything. So ritual decks might like running Nibiru at 2 or 3. Discard decks, right? Something like decks like, think of Runic, right? Or Horus, that their main thing is they could just discard it anyway. So even if you have Nibiru and it's useless for you, you could just discard it, no problem, no harm, no foul, baby. If it's a tier 0 meta call, if the meta is tier 0 and for some reason they can't get that 5th Omni Negate or they can't do any of that stuff, like I said, then yeah, run Nibiru if it's a direct hard counter to a tier 0 meta call. I haven't seen that happen in a long time. I don't think it's gonna happen, but just to future-proof the content, I gotta put this out here. It could be a tier 0 meta call. If there's something sweeping the meta that it can stop it, yeah, use 3 Nibirus. Why not, right? Rank 11 support, again, I want to future-proof the content. I haven't really good rank 11 support or like just level 11 support in general, but if it does come, then hey, you know, like something that could special summon rank 11s out, then maybe Nibiru could be worth running at 3. That's just something that I want to talk about. Again, I don't really see it's there. I really see these exceptions are kind of existing today. These exceptions don't exist. And I know I'm saying don't run Nibiru at 3, don't run Nibiru at 3, but don't let that take away from the fact that it feels good, baby, just to nib your opponents. You know what I'm saying? When you send that rock on them, who cares if you're playing suboptimally or not mathematically correct? It feels good. You know what I'm saying? It's like that song, wow, I feel good. When you throw that rock on them and it just, you get to just clear the table. Just get all of that stuff out of here. It just feels good. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just ate a good meal and then you had like a good refreshing beverage after a nice 5-mile run. It just feels good. It's so euphoric, the feeling. Nothing can beat that. Just raining rocks on your opponent. Yeah. So good. Oh, the feeling is so good. I can't explain it. So, the math might say one thing, not to run 3 Nibirus, but it feels so good to do it. Anyways, let's go into some case studies of people having success or playing around Nibiru. I'll use myself as an example. Now, I got some people from the Discord to help me out too, to show them if they've had success stories or horror stories using Nibiru. Let's jump into the case studies. All right, I'm going first, and I am using, believe it or not, the Snake Eye engine. I know you guys are probably like, ew, Jesse, why are you using that? I know, it is toxic. Look at this. I get Ash, though. I just want to use and try these decks out because you need to know how and find the weaknesses of your enemy. So I am going to use this as a highlight, too. I do want to show you how many hand traps they can play through and why tier 1 decks don't need to fear Nibiru. So a little bit of a spoiler alert. I am going to spoil you that the Nibiru is going to make a cameo appearance somewhere, but this is just here to show you that it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm doing my Snake Eye plays. Snake Eye's so good at just churning out advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the Energizer Bunny keeps going and going, and here he goes. Look at this. Nibiru, the Primal Being, coming out, slaying me here. But here's what's deadly, right? That doesn't matter. What a horrible use, because now I can just keep chugging along. Look at that. Didn't even use my normal summon. Let me use Stroll Lockbird, baby, to now go into the Fiendsmith engine. So you have so many different things, right? You can go into the Apollo USA, Appaloosa to get a negate. I can go into Feedsmith, get a negate. I can get negates. I mean, I have so many negates in this deck. It's crazy. And just the number of extenders. Yeah, Feedsmith Desiree's a negate. Oh, I run this package right here, the Azamina package. That's a negate. So no matter what, that Nibiru, it wasn't going to do anything anyways. Now I'm getting to set up. Let's fast forward myself because, yeah, I'm just doing some Snake Eye stuff. Look at this. That's another interruption. So I've got Bestialed, Nibiru'd, and Ash Blossomed right now. And I'm still going. I'm chugging along. This guy can't stop me. It's like, I'm just going. I'm just, like there's nothing this guy can do. He even just tried to Bestial me. I completely just, I'm just ignoring it. It's like this guy is punching me in the face, and I'm just like Rocky Balboa, just taking all of his shots to the face, and I'm still going. I'm like the Energizer Bunny, baby. I'm just going and going. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop me. I'm just look at that dragon, baby. I'm just going. This is the power of Snake Eyes. That's the power of Pine Sol, baby. And I just moved 2 of his guys in the back row, by the way, completely. So not only am I still going, chugging along, and I can't believe I'm still comboing here. I'm still comboing. I already put 2 of his guys in the back row. And why not? What else am I doing? Oh, I'm putting that back in the hand. I got hand trapped 3 times, and I still managed to get an Appaloosa. 3 times, 3 hand traps. I got nibbed, I got Bestialed, I got Ash Blossomed, and I still didn't even use my Dramatic Chase yet. Look at this. Here we go. Dramatic Chase, gonna get my Diabellstar. Diabellstar is now gonna come out, and Diabellstar, look at her coming out like the Black Witch she is. She's gonna set a card. That's another card. So even through all of this, this is an Omni Negate. with all of this, when everything is said and done, after 3 hand traps, a Nib, a Bestial, and an Ash Blossom, I still managed to get an Omni Negate and a 3 Negate Apollo USA. That's showing you the power of meta decks, how much gas they have. Oh, and by the way, I have a Ghost Ogre too. Why not? Because this is deadly. This is I hate, this is why I hate playing meta decks, because of stuff like this. It's like playing easy mode, right? This is easy mode to me. What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do? What do you got? You got nothing. He's gotta give up. He's gotta give up. And this is why Nibiru is not good, because when you're playing against these tier 1 decks, White Forest, Snake Eyes, right? The Azamina package, Fiendsmith package, Nibiru's gonna do nothing. So even if he had Nibiru running it at 1-3, it doesn't matter. When you're playing against these top tier decks, when they're just running all gas, you know what I'm saying? They're Pitbull, de la gusta la gasolina. It's not gonna do anything. You can't do anything. Anyways, let's jump to the next replay, because I do want to show cases where it does work. So I do got some more replays. Anyways, let's jump to the next one. Let's see if Nibiru works or doesn't work on this next one. All right, I'm going first here. I'm using a ritual deck. Remember how I said Nibiru's the exception to ritual decks? We can kind of use Nibiru if we needed to when we go first in situations like this as the material. But I am playing this Dogmatica deck. This is the event, so I'm only allowed to use light and I believe earth. But I'm using a nice Dogmatica ritual deck here. I'm going to go into the White Knight of Dogmatica because that's a 1-card combo. I can use Calamity to put a Gangrenol in the graveyard too to give me some follow-up. Now if my opponent does anything, I can take a little peek, a little gander at his extra deck and send something that I don't like to the graveyard. I didn't like his Predapant Verte Anaconda, and what it lets me do too is send one of my own monsters too, further giving me an advantage as well. So I really do like this White Knight of Dogmatica. Very good. It looks like I'm against tier, and I didn't want to send the Kick Kalos to the graveyard too, by the way, because that still will activate Kick Kalos' effect to mill 5. Anyways, here we go. I could use that Gangrenol that I sent before to do some effects to get me a Dogmatica Ecclesia. Ecclesia's going to do something. This is why I sent that card. He has that Red Eyes Dark Dragon. He's got Dragoon in his graveyard. That's very deadly. I wanted to make sure I didn't want to make it easy for Predapant Verte Anaconda to easily make that, because I know how easily a player can flood the field. They're like a river. Anyways, he's doing super polymerization here. I think he's going to try to super polymerize me, which is very annoying, but no. He's actually doing something very interesting here. He's hard making Kick Kalos the hard way, which is, I thought that was pretty funny. Anyways, Kick Kalos is a very strong card. And it's going to send that to the graveyard too. It's going to activate that, double activate there. Now here's what's really interesting. The Dogmatica cards, Dogmatica Fluidulis, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Fleur though, coming from flower, is going to come and interrupt the game, like, you know, like we're just having a nice deadly back and forth, and you know, like a referee blowing the whistle. Here comes Fluidulis, but he's still going to go and try to fuse away his monster. But here's something that's interesting. Fluidulis still comes out, and he's still going to negate you, even though you went all the way back there. He went there, he still got negated. Anyways, my monster gets destroyed, but that's fine. I got a punishment, I've got a Fluidulis, and I've got an Ecclesia. Unfortunately, he does get to negate my Lulu Lilith, and I was trying to do something, and oh my gosh, my Nibiru had 4 summons, and it was just on the cusp of greatness. It's like, oh my gosh, he was, what do they call that when you're just about to get something and you don't get it? Yeah, that's what he just did to me. I was just almost there, about to reach my happiness point, and no, that got taken away. So, Nibiru sitting on the sidelines right now as a cheerleader, as I'm getting pummeled by the Tier Elements Rukalos, and I can't really do anything here. I don't want to use my Dogmatica Punishment to destroy this, because it's just going to come back again, because it's a fusion summon. So I kind of got to find another way around it, and here we go. Dogmatica Maximus wants to special summon, and there's my trap. I'll be able to now chain Ghost Ogre, so when he does go to the graveyard off this, I will be able to chain my Called by the Grave. So this is all a big trap here to get rid of that Rukalos. Now Rukalos is going to try to activate. I don't care that I lose my Maximus. It does sting a little bit, but it was a necessary sacrifice, because I still do have my Dogmatica punishments. The Dogmatica cards are very good at creating a nice grind game. Believe it or not, you saw me attack with Ecclesia before. She doesn't die by extra deck monsters, which is why I was using the card to pump itself up, to pump up the other cards. Anyways, we'll go to the battle phase here, And oh my gosh, we're having a slobber knocker of a match here. We're already on turn 6 with 6,000 life points each. And Nibiru just being the cheerleader, like, yeah, you can do it, baby. This is what I'm talking about. Even in these ritual decks, I'm not having good top decks, and he stopped at 4. And Nibiru, he was in my deck on day 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing here? Just looking at me. Like, we're having a staring contest now, me and Nibiru. Anyways, finally, this little guy comes up, and I can use Lulu Lilith, sending that to the graveyard, ending my turn, and now maybe I can get something good finally. I'm going to be able to get Quem here. Quem's finally going to let me allow myself to go into some plays. And finally, ooh, and Dogmatica Ashian, very good card too for extending and getting back any Dogmatica card I want from the graveyard. Really good extender in Dogmatica. But here we go. I'm giving him the Dogmatica. I've got all the hand traps. I know he's got a lot of face down stuff, but he needs tier cards. And it's looking good for me, not good for my opponent. No thanks to Nibiru, though. I won this match off of the backs of Dogmatica, Hard Carrying, and definitely Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. He's going to show me that it was indeed the Tearlament Sulliek card he had, but I'm going to let Dogmatica Ecclesia get the finishing blow. Nibiru just watching. Thank you, Nibiru, for doing absolutely nothing and proving my point. Even in the exception decks, you were no help to me. But, hey, I still won. Having fun with the Dogmatica decks in the event. Let's move on to the next replay. Right, this replay was sent in to me by someone on the Discord. I asked for some replays to see of Nibiru either coming in clutch or fail, and so we know Nibiru's going to make a cameo appearance, but we don't know where, and we don't know if it's going to be good or bad. Our Discord player Zero Ender is going against our Korean or Japanese friend here, it looks like, and he's going against a Blue Eyes deck here. Gonna ash the wishes for Blue Eyes. Looks like he's also on Trap Tricks and Ragnarika, going for the Sage with Eyes of Blue. Eyes of Blue grabbing that Effect Veiler. You know when you grab an Effect Veiler, your opponent has everything they need. It's like an ant colony that builds its ant colony next to a donut shop, right? The ants are going to have everything they need. So when you see the Blue Eyes player grab that Effect Veiler, they have everything they need. Anyways, but like a set of colony of ants, Blue Eyes right now has been proven to be very strong, resilient lately, a tier 1 threat even. So and look at this, going into its combo here, and we are on summon 4, I believe. This Jet Dragon will make summon number 5. You can see here by that glowing 5 that they added in one of the latest patches to now make it so that people who couldn't count to 5 really easy know when their Nibiru is activated. But what I do like about that, it is very friendly for spectators, so I do like that here. And this is going to activate now. The Crimson Dragon is going to activate and grab another card. He is holding on to that. Wow, he's holding on to that real long. Oh my gosh. He's holding on to that like a baby holds on to your finger when you have him hold your hand. Anyways, he's really holding the Nibiru, and here he goes, finally using it right here when he's going to use the Crimson Dragon. Now, this guy's going to chain his effect to the Nibiru, but I really don't think that's going to do anything. Maybe he's just going to bring out something like with a lot of attack or something. 1,000 more attack is coming out there, so maybe it creates a bigger token. But here comes the rock, baby, and he's going to not give you the people's elbow. He's going to give you a fistful of deadliness, and look at that, ending the turn. So this is an example where Nibiru actually comes in clutch, it looks like, because that did end his turn. Now we do know this guy did have the Effect Veiler. So let's see what happens there. Nothing, because of course he's got called by the grave, so nothing's going to come of that. And here we go. True Light's going to come. That's what's interesting here. What are you going to grab? What are you going to bring back? Come on, bring back something nice here. And another Kaiba Blue Eyes coming out. The OG original holographic Kaiba. Here we go, giving Effect Veiler that little finger. And that's going to get negated. And now it looks like Trap Tricks can go into their full combo. I don't see anything stopping this unless that face down is something good. And no. And look at that. Blue Eyes is a meta contender, and just like that, Zero Ender showing us that, yeah, Nibiru can still be effective. So even though I said don't play it at 3, if you're playing it at 1 and against something like Blue Eyes and you know the right spot, you know what I'm saying? You have to hit that right spot against the Blue Eyes player. That's where it is, right there, when he tried to chain that in there. So that's good to know. So know that you could still use it against Blue Eyes, and Blue Eyes is a top tier threat. So that's why I think this was a very good replay to highlight. Thank you, Zero Renders, for sending that replay into me, for showing that Nibiru does have its uses. All right. This now is a match between a Seton versus, again, I do not know if this is Japanese or Korean. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments below what his name is. I always love our Eastern friends have very creative names, so I love to see what the names are in the comments. It's probably gonna be something simple like Punch Man or something, but no, they actually have very creative names. Here we go. Now we're looking at it from the perspective of a Blue Eyes player, and he's going first, interestingly enough. So he's got Nibiru. Sometimes Nibiru, when you have it going first, it kind of messes you up, and that's what I'm talking about. When you're going first in these 50-50 decks, it might mess you up here, but he's going first, a set on. He even has the little Nibiru token as his little avatar, so he's kind of letting you know, like, look, I run Nibiru and I'm proud. I kind of do that with Psyframe Gamma. I make it my mate, even though I don't have it as my, I don't run it in my deck, just to give a little bit of mind game to my opponent. But anyways, we're going against Mementolians. The Mementolians are actually an insane deck, very hard to utilize, very hard to play. If you can play and learn how to play Mementolians, you're going to be in a very good position. Very hard deck to play. They remind me of the commercial Mentos the Fresh Maker, you know, where it's like, just goes further than life when Mentos rip it for a life. Anyways, nothing gets to you. Is their Mentos the Fresh Maker. Anyways, that's a really old commercial, and I'm showing my age here. But we're on 4 summons with the Mementos. I know they do a lot of summoning. Again, very hard deck to use. So, very interesting. They're all about destroying their own stuff. They're like a kid that has a tantrum that when he gets mad, he just destroys his own stuff for some reason. I never knew why people destroy their own stuff, you know, with anger management issues. If you do have that, you know, I hope you seek help because it's not, oh, we got something going on here, something deadly. This is really deadly right here, actually. If this is special summoned, you could target a card on the field and destroy this. He's destroying the True Light. When True Light is destroyed, everything gets destroyed. But there's a caveat to this. True Light will only destroy everything if the face-up card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard. So he did not, a set on, you did not have to flip that up face up, because now you're making your own cards in danger when you do that to destroy all your monsters. So by keeping it face down, if it got destroyed face down, you wouldn't lose anything. But you want to gain some advantage here, that's fine. So you can use the effect to summon something here or to get a spell and trap. You're going to set the spell and trap, nice. You can also get a monster here, believe it or not, because what's really interesting is when this card activates in the graveyard, you could chain your own Spirit Dragon. Look at this. Once per turn, when the effect of a card is activated in the graveyard, you can negate the activation. So you could use your own Spirit Dragon to negate your own True Light. So your True Light's going to activate, and now you can use your Spirit Dragon to save that. Now, he's actually going to interrupt it. So now you might be in trouble here because, yeah, now you're kind of attributing that to that. That's actually kind of deadly. So that's just another good thing to show off there. I think he interrupted that, so you can't save yourself. So maybe that's what you're trying to do. But again, I do think flipping that face up was a risky move. But anyways, now you're gonna get a monster boat. No matter what, it's gonna get destroyed. But there are some monsters that you could go into that are immune to the destruction effect, like this Stardust Severe Dragon. The first time each card you control will be destroyed, it's not going to be destroyed. So what are you going to go to? You go into Malong. Interesting choice here. Well, Malong's just going to destroy itself. So now you're going to get to remove something from the field. Okay, so maybe some kind of interruption there. And yeah, you just want to get, you have that Nibiru anyways. So that's a good spot for it. I like it. Okay, I like it a lot. Here comes the rock, baby, right? Get ready to give him the people's elbow. And there we go. Mementolian Sheep. And you end his turn, actually. So everything I was just saying, you know, disregarded because it worked out well. And you've got the top deck of the lifetime. He had 3 cards against your 2. That top deck really saved you. And here you go, you get that Drill Beam. Drill Beam is absolutely devastating. Probably this gets you, now you're the one grinding. You got a good grind game going on because that Primeape, whenever I see Primeape, I think of Ash Ketchum and Primeape, how just deadly of a Pokemon that was. But it's just a deadly card here. Now you get to go into your Spirit of Eyes of Blue. You have that, but oh, lo and behold, he's got this super polymerization. So look at this. Now he's going to go into Little Dragon here. And what do you have? Yeah, you have Lordly Lord. gonna bring out Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I believe you do have the, yeah, that little Maiden of White. She always comes out when you special summon. Such a good card. This Lordly Lord combination here is so strong. Bringing out the Tyrant Dragon, which can attack everything, absolutely devastating. And now you can go into another Spirit Dragon if you have it. I didn't really look at your extra deck too long, but yes, there's another Spirit Dragon. And oh my gosh, this guy is now in a very bad predicament because, again, that Lordly Lord is so strong. It's going to give you that grind game. But how good is our Memento opponent? Let's see. What's he going to do here? You got that ultimate. What a beautiful animation. Ooh. You're going to immediately negate that. That's a great card to negate because it's going to get a lot of advantage. He doesn't have much stuff left in the deck anyways, but he does have Mentelian, the Horned Dragon, and he's going right into something, so that much means it's Typhon. He goes into Typhon. Immediately, I know it's set on, you're in the Discord and everything, but when I see a guy go into Typhon, I immediately switch sides. I am now rooting for him because I love the Typhon player. Just kidding. I know I love me some Superstar Stayer Typhon. I have a lot of decks and videos on why Typhon is so good. I've had recently a clutch video where I ran 2 Typhons and it saved me. I'll put those in the comments in my Typhon video. Anyways, you've got your Primate engine coming back, and it looks like it was no issue at all. It looks like Nibiru did save the day for you then there again too. So you could see here, everyone, how Nibiru on my Discord users are still incorporating Nibiru and using it successfully. So notice how I'm saying that you shouldn't use Nibiru. A lot of decks can play around it, but Nibiru does still have its usefulness. So as the members of this Discord are proving time and time again, I do like to show off the other side, and I do like to shoot myself in the foot to show them and to show me, you know, let's just see the other side. Nibiru is still very good. Just don't run it at 3. I honestly think running Nibiru at 3 is a huge fatal mistake. But running it at 1, right? And if you have it at 1 where you need it, I think is still very good. Getting it off of the draws of Maxi or the Mulch armies, very, very good. And that's how you're going, and that's how you're going to prosper. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.